As Eric talked about, this weekend will have many people in Brunswick County without a warm place to stay. Brunswick Partnership for Housing is a nonprofit group that advocates for unhoused individuals. That group got a $40,000 grant, but the executive director tells us more unhoused working families are forced to sleep in their cars these days because they just have nowhere else to go.
To be able to rent an apartment in Brunswick County, what you need is an income that's 3 times the cost of the rent, and you need clean credit and no criminal background history. So for all of those things to work for people, especially after COVID, it's really hard.
Ms. Learned says the grant funding they received will help keep the transitional home running for families because finding more permanent shelter is continuing to be difficult.